Well, there she still sits. Same place she was last time I filmed. Since it's finally spring outside and beautiful garage door open, t-shirt, short weather, love the combination when working on a car. Beats freezing to death in the garage with the door shut and the heater running. But yeah, it's about time that I start the preparation of figuring out what's wrong with this car. There is some stuff that we need to do in the engine bay before we can fully get to it, but we're gonna go ahead and start with that today. A little bit of engine bay gunning, stuff that I wanted to get done before my last race, but never got around to. Now you see, as this is a race car, there's plenty of things that you don't need in the engine bay that I just haven't gotten around to getting rid of yet. But they also need to get out of the way so we can start accessing that engine and diagnosing some problems. One of the major things that needs to completely go is all of this weather stripping, which is completely unnecessary at this point. That guy right there, which is completely unnecessary at this point. And all of this weather stripping, which is completely unnecessary at this point. And then this heat shield / noise dampener that also needs to go. More things that need to go, although I do need to get rid of my secondary air pump. I don't have catless headers, so I haven't done that yet. But this whole system right here, some of you guys might recognize what I'm pointing at, is part of the AC system. The whole AC system needs to go. I have no need for AC in the car. I am not going to be using it. It is impeding. As you can see, we've got this fan here that needs to come out for it, and the condenser. All of that will not be done today. My intention coming back from this last race, had I not had the problems that I did, was to get this to a shop to have the AC system completely drained so that I could remove the AC system, because I want it gone. But the problem is, it's not drained. And I can't move the car because I don't have a tow vehicle. And I don't trust this thing to move under its own power right now until we know what's wrong with it. So I'm going to have to figure out how to do that. I might call the shop that was going to do it and see if they can come here to do it. But I might have to find someone who does mobile AC draining. Or pay a tow truck. Those are expensive. But regardless of all of that, it's not a big deal. Because the thing is, in order to remove the AC system, it's a lot easier with stuff like this out of the way. Now, what's coming out in today's video, more specifically, I just want to mention that I am taking this bar out. It's not because I'm deleting it. This is still a very useful thing, although I do want to upgrade it to a nicer one in the future. The reason I'm taking this out is because there's 2 bolts here, or nuts, 2 on the other side, and that allows this assembly to start being disassembled when that time comes. So I'm going to go ahead and remove it in this video. The other thing I'm going to note is that I do want to remove this weather stripping, like I said, and I'm going to do that. And I find this to be very useful weather stripping on both sides. But the thing is, you'll notice, is that once I remove this whole assembly here, you can kind of see that it goes down there. This weather stripping will no longer be necessary to do its job. So there's no point in keeping it because it's just unnecessary weight. So it will in fact be coming out, despite the fact that I do still see it as valuable. I will, however, be leaving the weather strip up here at the top because that is still going to be able to do its job. It's just that I'll have this hole in the hood allowing water into the car, but it's not like I let this car get rained on very often. It's more just when I'm out there on the track in the wet. So let's get it on it. These are all T30 Torx. I just want to quickly note, it might not look it, but this thing weighs an absolute ton. That is going to be some good weight reduction out of the front. Now, as you can see, this is what I'm talking about, where it doesn't do its job anymore. It's just, there's this whole gap here that allows whatever's coming at it to get in there, such as rain. And I know it might stop stuff coming this way, but there's not a whole heck of a lot that's coming this direction past dust that will find its way through that way. So I don't personally see a reason to have this weather strip here. I might be wrong, and if I am wrong, I'll put it back, but I can't think of any practical reason to keep this stuff around. That thing weighed 2 ounces. I think that's a lot less about weight savings and more about just making the whole thing look cleaner and not having to keep that little piece of foam clean. Plus it'll be a little bit noisier and allow a little bit more heat to escape the engine, but yeah, no, that thing is not significant. And with all that finally out of the car, no more, including that crossbar and obviously that 2 ounce piece of fabric over there. That covers more or less the weight reduction side of things that I plan to do to the engine today. The only thing I still need to do right now, I do need to do a compression test, but I'm not going to get to that in today's video because that does involve removing the valve cover and everything, which we're going to go ahead and address in a later video. But what I do need to do is I need to get this clean. So I'm going to go ahead and do a dry clean on this, maybe a little bit of a wet, damp clean, where I'm going to get all of this dirt and grime off of, you know, the surrounding area, just kind of a light clean of the whole car or engine bay, so that when I start removing these panels, we don't have, you know, a little bit of dirt getting where it shouldn't be inside the engine. So the cleaning solution will be a little bit of microfiber cloths and Chris Fix's favorite cleaning chemical, soapy water, and some wire brushes. Well, my camera died when it wasn't actually dead, which means you guys just lost that footage, but I cleaned, you guys saw I was cleaning that side, I already cleaned that side, but then I got around to cleaning the whole middle here, just side to side to middle there. It's not the same standard that I would typically clean it to if I were to, say, for example, be doing this the Chris Fix way outside of my garage, but it's enough that when I'm pulling it apart, I can not worry about dirt getting into the engine, as well as I can clean it more when I'm done. It's going to get dirty through that process anyway, so clean and done. I think next video we're going to go ahead and we're going to start tearing apart the valve cover over there so that we can get into the compression testing, which I'm borrowing a compression gauge from my friends, so should be able to tell very shortly what it is if it is compression. If it is not compression, then we've got some other things to figure out. Anyway guys, if you like the video, maybe consider liking down below. If you like the content, want to see more with the project of the M3, go ahead and subscribe. Unfortunately, this saga is exactly that, a saga. Anyway guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.